Hello! It is time. Last role quest, at least in 6.0. Once I have finished this role quest line, and 6.1 rolls over, we will have a new quest line. So I want to make sure that I have them finished before the patch, which will, well, maintenance is starting in 4 hours, so I have just under 4 hours to finish this quest line, which should be easy enough, because I think most of these have taken me like 2 hours. So, let us go, and let us talk to the Ishgardian delegates. Our aching soul goes to Ishgard, of course. Ah, my lord Laverne, I have awaited your coming. The phenomenon wherein men turn into monsters, it pains to say that Ishgard has not been spared. A dread blasphemy has appeared in the Holy See, and to compound the people's horror, the beast resembles a dragon. It is imperative that it be vanquished without delay, and to that end we have begun resembling a hunting party. Given the fear and despair might turn our allies against us, we are being stringent in whom we choose for this duty. Yet while we have confidence in the quality of our knights, the mission would greatly benefit for the presence of a battle mage, one who can stand unflinching in the face of our fell quarry. We would be hard-pressed to find an individual who fits that description better than you. Will you not lend us your strength and skill? Oh, very well. Sure. We are in your debts. Just a moment while I relay the glad tidings to command. Yo, he's in. To settle, upon arriving in Ishgard, please take yourself to this Aetherite Plaza. Lord Arterel will be there to receive you. May the Furies speed your way. Ain't gonna get any faster than this. Oh, my PC could be faster, so the loading times would just be non-existent. Awesome. Right, there's a side quest I still haven't done, which I think is unlocking... which might be unlocking the housing area. I'll just do that after this. Laverne, I've been expecting you. Words cannot well express how heartening it is to have you fighting beside us. Yo. Allow me to echo that sentiment. Emmerich. Hi. Greetings, my friend, lest you wonder. Lord Arterel and I are leading the effort to deal with the blasphemy. With your capable self in the fold, I have no doubt that we shall succeed. Without further ado, I shall brief you on the situation. It was a handful of days after the first beasts appeared in Razathan. An Elizan man was observed in the hoplon on the pillars, walking with an unsteady gait. All of a sudden, he buckled over as if in pain. Before anyone knew what was happening, he had transformed into a terrible draconic beast. At the mere sight of this, many who chanced to be present also turned, and regrettably the temple knights were forced to put them down. The blasphemy itself, however, took wing and fled. Profane Fafnir, we have chosen to call it Profane Fafnir, okay. We have chosen to call it after the Dragon Man of Ishgardian myth. Does Fafnir never show up in 14? Okay, Fafnir shows up as a notorious monster in Eureka. also known as Mesosaur, is a recurring enemy in the series. Yeah, but I'm looking for 14 specifically. Oh. There's also a minion about it. Wind Up Fafnir. Yeah, just shows up in Animus in the Uncanny Valley area. The fate name is Wine and Honey. Let's see if there's any text about that. As the old saying goes, every worm's ending is just a voidsent worm's beginning. Banish is particularly vicious example, and remember that no one's to blame except the adventurers that killed the high dragon whose dying breath summoned forth this monstrosity. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, there's a minion for that. Wind Up Fafnir. Huh. Because Fafnir is like, you know, A shows up in different in other Final Fantasy games, but also let's just look for Fafnir. Fafnir in Wikipedia. It is a Norse mythology dragon. Is a son of Reitmar and brother of Regan, Otra, Linkhider, and Luffenhider. After being affected by the curse of Advaris Ring and Gold, Fafnir became a dragon and was slain by Sigurd. Sorry, I will continue this soon. I'm just curious. Oh, it's Icelandic. I'm sorry. Well, Sunga Saga, Fafnir is a dwarf with a powerful arm and fearless soul. He guards his father's house with glowing gold and flashing gems. He's the strongest and most aggressive of the three brothers. Regan recounts to Sigurd how Odin, Loki, and Honia were traveling when they came across Otra, who had the likeness of an otter during the day. Loki killed the otter with a stone, and the three Aesir skinned their catch. The gods came to Reitmar's dwelling that evening and were pleased to show off their otter's skin. Reitmar and his remaining two sons seized the gods and held them captive, while Loki was made to gather the ransom, which was to stuff the otter's skin with gold and cover its outside with red gold. Loki fulfilled the task by gathering the cursed gold of Andvari as well as the ring, Andvar and Nor, both of which were told to Loki as items that would bring about the death of whoever possessed them. Okay. Fafnir then killed Reitmar to get all the gold for himself. He became ill-natured and greedy and ventured into the wilderness to keep his fortune. He turned into a serpent or dragon in order to guard his treasure. Fafnir breathed poison into the land around him so no one would go near him and his treasure, wreaking terror in the hearts of the people. And so on and so forth. I'll put in a link to this. It's quite interesting. Apparently it was an inspiration for Tolkien as well. But let us continue. Profane Fafnir, we have chosen to call it, after the Dragon Man of Ishgardian myth. Since that day, the beast has often been sighted in disguise above Ishgard, and does not attack, only circles menacingly for a time, yet disappearing again. Alas, these brief visitations are enough to cause more people to turn, and for fear and panic to spread further. As part of our investigation, we have sought to identify the man who became the blasphemy, but thus far we have learned naught. We have, however, identified a common threat between those who subsequently turned. All were people of fervent faith. People such as priests and inquisitors. When the truth of our nation's history was laid bare, the legitimacy of the church was called into question. Many Ishgardians struggle to reconcile their revelations with their beliefs, and none more so than the pious. Such men and women, we posit, would be more susceptible to despair, and therefore the transformation. We must find a way to stop it. Ishgard has only just emerged from a 1,000-year war, and we cannot suffer another great tragedy, much less so soon. Much less so soon, I guess. In order to attain a better understanding of the situation, we intend to speak with a member of the clergy, the sole individual who survived witnessing the blasphemy's birth without being turned. Clem is his name, and he is a deacon at St. Raymond Cathedral. Come, let us seek him out there at once. Let's just do this. This might be faster. I have to go here. And just straightforward. Oh, I remember this place. This is where I took upon to become a Dark Knight. Alright. Not so very long ago, few would have imagined Ishgardian knights marching beyond the bounds of their own dominion. But we have ventured to the heart of Garlemald and fought for no less than the fate of the world itself. Our nation has changed and continues to do so. It has, and I would say for the better as well. Here he is, Deacon Clem. Let us see what he can tell us. Lord Emmerich, Lord Otterell, and the saviour of Ishgard besides, you do me great honour. I am Clem, and I serve as a deacon here at St. Raymond's Cathedral. I understand you were among those at the Hoplon when the incident occurred. We give thanks to the Fury for your merciful preservation. We now seek to prevent the blasphemy from wreaking further havoc, and would appreciate any details you can provide. Loath though we are to make you recall unpleasant memories, will you not recount to us what you witnessed that day? Very well. We are presently relocating the Wald's libraries to the cathedral. In case you were unaware, we had finished delivering a batch of tomes and were on our way to bring over another. As we approached the Hoplon, we noticed a young man walking unsteadily. No sooner had he come to an abrupt halt than he transformed into a draconic beast. The fiend fixed us with a menacing glare, and it was all we could do to find our wits and flee. But to my compounding horror, my brethren who were with me began turning into monstrosities as well, one after another. Praise the Fury that you at least were spared, Deacon Clem. I cannot imagine how frightening the experience must have been. Justinian? No. Who are you? Bishop of Vatino. Forgive me if I interrupt. I was informed that our stalwart protectors were present and wish to express my gratitude. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you for your service. I pray that we shall soon be free of this scourge. Indeed, if there is aught we might do to aid your efforts, you need but say it. You are most kind, Your Grace. He's going to become a problem, isn't he? That was Bishop Watino, the head of Saint Remnants, and a member of the Synod. Synod? Everything is French here, so I'm sorry. Or a lot of it is French here. With the seat of the Archbishop vacant, he is, in effect, the highest authority in the Ishgalian Orthodox Church. This is so, yet in spite of his elevated station, he remains as kind and humble a man as any I have ever known. Like His Grace, I would do all that I can to help shepherd our people through this uncertain time. To that end, there is a request I would make of you, if you can spare a moment to consider it. Of course, if it is within our power, we should be glad to offer you aid. Thank you. What manner of request could this be? Stone bespeaks urgency. The deacon was no less terrified by the blasphemy than his peers, yet he alone did not turn. By what grace was he spared? In the wake of his transformation, a group of clergymen fled the city in fear, yet though they sought refuge in the wilderness, they put themselves at the mercy of the elements and fell fiends both. Given that the cause of the transformation is not clear, I think theirs was a decidedly unwise decision. I wish to set out and find them, but I am not trained in the ways of war. As such, I require those who are to accompany me in the search. But that is the way of it. Suffice it to say, we will help. Do you know whither your fellows may have headed? The Western Highlands, I believe, between Gorgon Mills and Hamlock. There is no shortage of abandoned dwellings in the area. Very well. Time being of the essence, I propose we split up and scour separate areas. LeBron, if you could escort the good deacon to Gorgon Mills, Lord Atterell and I will tend to Hamlock. I'm going to butcher all of these names, by the way, because I'm not entirely certain if they're supposed to be pronounced English or French. Neither, both. So, you know. Alright. I'm getting this a lot, this one. Let's change that. Oh, something. Sure. I'll save that. Alright, let's fly up. Ah, here we are. Where Shiva was. Hello, Clem. That you should choose to abide in such harsh conditions. Are these quote-unquote heretics? That they not turn because they are not afraid of dragons? You? Ah, I see you found them. Yes, and none the worse for the wear, thank the Fury. My friends, forgive us if we have given cause for alarm. We came out of concern for your well-being. Though we understand why you quit the city, we fear you may have placed yourselves at greater risk by coming here. His Grace Bishop of Otino too worries for your health and prays for your swift return. So please, will you not allow us to escort you to the Holy See? I assure you, you will be much safer there than in this wretched place. Servants of the Fury will never be safe in the city, don't you see? This is your fault, you and your accursed revolution. The people disdain us, mock us behind our backs, and spit in our faces. Okay. Definitely not heretics, then. And now someone is conspiring to transform us into monstrosities, enemies of the church, I'll wager, emboldened by your deeds. So no, I will not go back to Ishgard. I'd sooner freeze to death than suffer your pity. What? All I have ever done was in service to her. I am a good man. I do not... She cannot forsake me. Ah, alone and preserve. I love how I'm just, you know, getting out a book. Bye. We should slay that one, just to make sure. Laurent, we cannot allow him to harm any others. Give chase and do what you must. We will remain here and keep the others calm. Okay. Deacon Clem, please do what you can to reassure them. Yes, of course. Do not worry about us. See to the beast. It cannot have gotten far. Okay. That is a mount I do like. Perfect. I'll have to go to here. And... Carbuncle! I choose you. For like a second, basically. Bye. Thanks, Bahamut. So you killed the Inquisitor who became something draconic, yes? Yeah, I did. How? Well, I summoned Bahamut. Oh. Is it done, Laverne? Yeah. My thanks. What happened is most regrettable, but we must be grateful that no one else came to harm. While you were gone, the deacon was able to convince the others to return to the city. Let us got them back at once, and then reconvene at the congregation to consider our next course of action. For our purposes, we have the use of the strategy room. Announce yourself to the guard without, and he will show you in. Sure. Sounds good to me. Yes, I am a lazy. And even teleport to here. Which is just up this road. Oh well. Lords Emmerich and Otterell await you within the surgery room. Will you be joining them now? Yeah. Here we shall discuss our plans to deal with the blasphemy. Whensoever you wish to enter, you need but say so to the guards. Lest you wonder, we have taken the clergyman to St. Reminot's to rest and recover. If truth be told, the thought that they may still succumb to despair and turn remains at the forefront of my mind. Yet the risk would be greater still were we to keep them at arm's length and deny them the comfort of the church. Indeed, from the words he spoke, that Inquisitor yearned for the days of old. He and others like him can scarcely be blamed, since the truth of the nation's founding and the Archbishop's machinations were made public knowledge. The Church has been in turmoil. Though we have made great strides in separating religion and state, there has been far less progress in the reformation of the Church. For faith has been everything to us, our purpose and our comfort. It's not an easy thing to reconcile one's belief with the betrayal of our spiritual leaders. Thus torn between their hearts and minds, Manish guardians feel lost, and none more so than members of the clergy, whose faith was once unshakable. Little wonder then that the most dedicated and devout are like to turn. So it seems, but further investigation is needed ere we draw a definite conclusion. With the war's end, Ishgard has set out on a new path. The choices we make now shall determine our course for the future. Come what may, we dare not squander the chance we have fought so hard to attain. Once I return, clergymen have sufficiently calmed down, I shall have the deacon speak with them, that we might gain insight into their individual plights. Good. Meanwhile, I shall take the opportunity to brief my men on recent developments. Pray take a moment's rest, my friend. You have earned it. When you are ready to continue our work, you may seek us out here. Please don't kick me out. That would be annoying. Maybe just stay in here so I can just talk to you again. Thank God. Anyone else in here? No. No forgiveness, no deliverance. Ah, Laverne, your timing could not be better. Deacon Clem has finished speaking with the rescued clergyman and will be here shortly to share his findings. Lord Emmerich too is on his way. Just wait for them. That doesn't sound good. Deacon Clem, we thank you for making the inquiries on our behalf. 'Twas no imposition in the least. As I said, I am glad to do all I can. So, it's our understanding that those we escorted back were all close acquaintances of the Inquisitor who turned. Like him, they too had been the subject of harassment by certain quarters of the populace. Is that correct? It is, I am afraid, and they are far from alone. Men of the cloth were once afforded respect and deference as servants of alone, but now they are openly reviled by many. We were complicit in perpetuating terrible lies, this is true, but we too were misled. We too are victims, yet we are regarded by some as criminals. Well, do I understand the people's anger, but it saddens me to think that they would thus lash out at their fellow man, especially when we need solidarity most of all. Well, I can imagine your plight. I would not presume to fully grasp your pain. Will you tell us of the challenges you and yours have had to face since the war's end? Like all sons and daughters of Ishgard, we dreamed of peace in our lifetime. But now that it has come, we find we have little cause to rejoice. Our faith has long been the foundation of our lives, and overnight that foundation has been crippled by fractures beyond repair for some. To learn that we had been deceived, and that we had unwittingly deceived others in turn, was devastating. We, who had once been shepherds to man, found ourselves lost lambs, bereft of surety and wanting for guidance. We have languished in darkness, all of us. Yet I have faith that the church will redeem itself, that it will find a new path, and again become a beacon of hope for the people. I see. Thank you for sharing this with us. Your testimony has confirmed our suspicions. According to our allies, that which causes people to turn is none other than their despair and anguish. If it wasn't before, it is now abundantly clear why members of the clergy are among the transformed. What you did not, I believe, is due to your unwavering faith in the church. In light of this, we would ask for your continued cooperation. Of course, anything to help my brethren. Now that we have established a cause, that leaves us with the mystery of profane Fafnir's identity. The progenitor of these troubles, could he too have been a man of the cloth? From what I can recall of his garb, I doubt it. He was dressed in a common fashion, and inadequately against the code besides. Sorry, English sometimes. They said that something of the individual may remain in the blasphemy, influencing its behavior. If we can determine what instincts drive profane Fafnir, we may learn who it once was. And this knowledge, I believe, will prove vital in our efforts to stop it. Hey, someone did his homework. Deacon Clem, we ask that you reach out to your fellow clergymen. Please do what you can to ease their anxieties. Understood. As I have ever done, I shall provide what comfort I can to those in need. Meanwhile, we must make it a priority to identify the blasphemy. To that end, I would seek out more eyewitnesses. The Hoplon is a busy place at any given time. Some ordinary citizens are bound to have been present at that tragic event unfolded. I propose we make inquiries in the pillars. If you could attend to the Hoplon, Lord Arturel and I will look in the surrounding areas. Sure. Wait. There's the door. I was like, how do I get out of here? Whoops. Tribunal. Oop. State citizen, whatever that does mean. I wasn't present for the incident at the Hoplon, but a young man purely dressed for the court. That I did see. I recall him well because an aide from Saint Vendrews was searching for him. He was a patient at the infirmary, and by coincidence had the same name. Okay, that's actually quite good information already. Interesting. Let's go up here next. Let's see if we can go to the last vigil. Which should just be this road down, basically. Spirited citizen. The dragon that appeared at the Hoplon. I saw with my own eyes. One moment an Ellison, the next a terrible beast. He was a heretic, I take it. Alright, you have no fucking clue. Good to know. Sociable citizen. No, I didn't see the dragon, nor would I have wished to, frightful as it sounds. They say it wasn't a Dravanian attack, but if not, then what was it? Alright, so the best information we got so far was from the first person we talked to. Awesome. I think I can jump down here. Yeah. That makes everything so much easier. Or faster, at least. Were you able to learn anything? A little bit. There you are, Laverne. Did your search yield any fruit? A patient of the Firmament's infirmary, you say? Among those with whom I spoke, one claims to have witnessed an individual fitting that description. A man walking in a stupor who did not seem to feel the cold. If he had wandered straight out of the infirmary, it would explain his state of attire. Yes, I dare say we have found our blasphemy, but to think that his name should be Vandro, or Vandro. This is the same as that of former Heaven's Ward Commander Sir Vandro de Rochemond, for whom the infirmary is named. Sir Vandro, however, retired from his station at a ripe old age some years ago. It's not like to have been him. In any case, we have a lead. I shall head to the infirmary at once. Pray wait for me in the broom. Okay. There should be an Ethernet thingamagic over here. Broom. Oh. Oh no, it is the broom. But all the way back here, interestingly enough. Why are we to wait here, of all places? Lord Attarell should not be long. Let us wait here. This is Loverick, the aide who was in charge of Vandro. Have you found him? Oh, please say you have. We have not, I am afraid, but we seek to, and hope that you could tell us more about him. May you ask how he came to be at the infirmary? He was found by a patrol in the Central Highlands. After being treated for his hurts, he was brought to us for convalescence. Being in the prime of his years, he had been doing well, but then... Prime of his years. By all accounts, he is an old man. It seems safe to assume it isn't Sir Vandro. Oh no, he's definitely a different person, as I told Lord Attarell. And though he gave his name as Vandro, he seemed rather confused, and we had no means to confirm his identity. In his state, he shouldn't be wandering about on his own. Please, you must find him. Confused. The man who recently turned into a beast at the Hoplon, regret to say it may have been Vandro. Wait. What? Now? No, how can this be? Is there aught else you can tell us? Things he may have said or done while in your care? While he was still unconscious, he would often ramble, though most of it was incoherent. He mentioned the Archbishop many times. Oh, and he spoke of a bishop too, Bishop Ovatino. I assumed he was a pious man, given this. I see. Thank you for your cooperation. We'll continue our investigation, and should we confirm what became of Vendreau, inform you forthwith. Let us return to the congregation for now. Okay. Heading to the strategy room, I should be glad to show you in. Who could this Vendreau be? I am going hazard a guess and say he is the bastard son of the actual Vendreau. The age might fit. The mystery remains, but we are one step closer to identifying the man who became profane Fafnir. Indeed, though he did not at first appear to be a member of the clergy, his words betray a fervent faith. And how curious that he should speak not only of the Archbishop, but Bishop Watino specifically. Perhaps he was personally acquainted with his grace, or his son, potentially. In light of the possibility, I believe we should speak with him directly. Agreed, I'll request an audience, but his grace has many demands upon his time. It may be a while before we are seen. Should you have other business, pray feel free to attend to them in the meantime. Nah, I'm fine. Let's go.